Workplace bullying is fundamentally defined as repeated, unreasonable actions directed towards an employee or a group of employees with the intention to intimidate and thereby creating a risk to health and safety. And that definition really emphasises the crucial elements of repetition and unreasonable, setting it apart from isolated incidents of just aggression or constructive performance management. And the intent to intimidate and potentially harm a targeted individual's well-being are also central to that definition. ACAS actually describes bullying as unwanted behaviour from a person or group that is offensive, intimidated, malicious or insulting, or an abuse or misuse of power that undermines, humiliates or create or causes physical or emotional harm. So in ACAS's definition, we see a broadening of the scope to include that subjective experience of the victim and explicitly acknowledges the role of power dynamics in bullying situations. Now, that power dynamics, the imbalance of power, can be formal, such as a manager to a team member, or it could be more a result of social influence. So, for example, in workplaces where you get cliques forming, they don't hold any formal power, but because of shared interests, history, they have that kind of collective influence and power. So workplace bullying take on many forms. We've got verbal abuse, from shouting, malicious rumours, isolation, where we deliberately exclude people. We're actually attacking a very basic human need there that we all have for that sense of belonging. Work sabotage, setting people up to fail, withholding crucial information. Um, Intimidation, yelling, hostile looks, indirect and direct threats, and cyberbullying, social media, email, and the last one, upward bullying, where a team member targets somebody in a more senior kind of position to themselves. There's also other more subtle forms of bullying, such as deceit, distortion of facts, minimising concerns, diversionary tactics, etc., which all can be classified as bullying. Now, it's difficult to give one definitive prevalence rate for workplace bullying in the UK because there are so many studies out there and every study has got their own definition and their own methodology. However, there does seem to be some kind of consensus of opinion with the majority of studies that suggests a figure somewhere between 10 to 20%. In actual fact, I found a Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development report reporting a figure of 15%. Now, according to the CIPD report, some of the stats there that they highlighted are on screen, a significant percentage of employees feel that bullying and harassment are totally being ignored by their employers. And 24% of employees think that these issues are just swept under the carpet. 15% of workers reported experiencing bullying within the last 3 years. Employees also reported experiencing, in addition to bullying, sexual harassment, 4%, and other forms of harassment, 8% in the workplace. A noticeable concern is that in the cases of bullying and harassment, 40% of victims indicated their manager was responsible. And in the CIPD report, they've actually emphasised that there is a lack of confidence amongst managers to actually address inappropriate behaviour. And they've actually called for improved management training to be able to prevent and tackle workplace conflict and inappropriate behaviours.